Earlier in this program, we had a story about violence in churches and other places of worship. It's a very disturbing trend. Over the past decade or so, we've seen a significant increase in the number of incidents of shootings and stabbings in what are supposed to be places of love, peace, and reverence. A decade ago, there were only 10 incidents of church violence reported in America. By last year, that figure had risen to 135. Why? How can it be that there is such defilement in what's supposed to be God's house? It seems we can no longer depend even on our places of worship to be safe havens from murder and mayhem. In more and more churches these days, money is being taken from the collection plate to pay for security personnel, for alarm systems, and for high-tech locks on the doors to church administrative offices. Again, it begs the question, why? And it makes me wonder about all those verses in the Bible about God's protection, such as Isaiah 54:17, which declares, "No weapon that is fashioned against you shall succeed." In Psalm 121:7, where it's written, "The Lord will keep you from all evil." I've always read and heard that God is omnipotent, all-powerful, that with God any good and righteous thing is possible. I wonder if that's really true in these days and times. Could it be there are things which God cannot do, which are beyond even His ability to intercede, to influence? Now, some of you may consider it blasphemous even for me to pose the question, but I believe that doubt about some aspects of God is not a negative. On the contrary, to the very fiber of my being, I agree with the sentiments of Brian Jones, written in his book, Second Guessing God, Hanging On When You Can't See His Plan. Pastor Jones writes that doubt is a natural part of Christian life, and that Jesus uses people who struggle with doubt to change the world. Indeed, in the Bible it's written that the closest followers of Christ, His disciples, expressed uncertainty from time to time. In a boat during a storm on the lake, written about in the 14th chapter of Matthew, Peter was doubtful even when he saw Jesus walking on water.
Come!
No! Don't go, Simon!
To go!
Lord! Save me! Lord, save me! Save me!
You of little faith!
Just before the Great Commission, when the disciples first see the resurrected Christ, Matthew writes, "They saw Him, they worshiped Him, but some doubted." So anyway, let's get back to the issue at hand, the shocking increase in violence in places of worship here in America and around the world. Is it possible that God can't put a stop to it? That it's beyond His power even to prevent some evil or crazy person from walking into a church sanctuary and firing a gun or setting off an explosion? Could it be that as our world has evolved, so too has the very nature of God? Without question, or at least it's my belief, God works small miracles every day in the lives of individual people. But I wonder if the Lord is still capable of doing the big stuff, like the parting of the Red Sea written about in the book of Exodus.
Behold His mighty hand!
If God really had the power to intercede, would He not have prevented or stopped the monstrosity of slavery in America? Wouldn't He have prevented the Holocaust, rescued 6 million Jews from Nazi gas chambers?
He is God. Blessed be the name of His glorious kingdom, forever and ever.
There is no place on earth that I love being in more than in church. It has always been my safe harbor from the stormy seas that I've sometimes been confronted with in life. Why is it That church then is no longer a place where we can be assured of safety, of protection from the evil out there in the world? Or is that asking too much? Certainly not in my mind. I don't yet have any answers, but I'm going to keep on asking the questions and continuing to pray that God will someday provide me the answers, to shine His light in all of the dark places, give me absolute clarity, to rid me of lingering doubts. If or when He does, I promise I'll let you know.